Hey everyone, Bob the Canadian here again. So here is the next Lords of Middle-earth tournament game. Quarterfinals, me versus Lanxing. I'm assuming you've watched the first game. So yeah, first game I was Free Peoples and he was Shadow, and it was very close, but he won. Frodo just couldn't handle it and decided to be all the way corrupt on his last step up Mount Doom. So this time I'm Shadow and he's Free Peoples. So he doesn't separate any companions and picks Gandalf as Narya. That's an entirely reasonable start. I start with Day Without Dawn and Lidless Eye. So Lidless Eye is obviously trash. Day Without Dawn is a fantastic card, of course. It's not the best turn one because it's pretty unlikely I'm going to muster all these guys down turn one, but it's still nice though. Like there's a chance that like turn 2, 3, 4, I might be able to deny Gandalf the White with this. So that's pretty cool anyway. Okay, and he starts with Paths of the Wozes and Safe Paths of the Dark. Safe Paths that's a nice card to have early on. You can hurry up and kill Smeagol and just get We Shall Get It off the table really quick. That's nice. I put in one eye as my usual, then I roll 2 more and 0 monsters. Man, I remember just being so frustrated because I feel like this happens to me a lot when I play in the Lords expansion, is that I just get a 0 muster start. And musters early on are so nice in the Lord. I like, obviously in the base game too, it's nice to get those early on, but even more so with the Lords, just because with the lesser minions, there's more stuff to get into play. So like I could roll 6 musters turn 1 and I would be okay with it, you know. Anyway, he moves and he's safe. I draw a card because I'm clearly not about to play either of these. He draws a card. We move the Swifter. That's a fun card. I shuffle armies along. I'm not sure why I didn't draw another card here. I guess I wanted to be a little bit scarier, maybe threaten that I had like Morgul Wound or something. I don't know. Anyway, so now he plays We Prove the Swifter. Oh, yeah, I remember this now. Okay, right. Because with that, and then he can also use a ring to move Strider again here and then crown him turn 1. So that's pretty cool anyway. I'm crowning Aragorn turn 1. It is giving me a ring and not moving a second time, but he's still taking one step safely. So, yeah. So I draw a strategy card and it's Corsairs. Like, my mouth starts salivating right there. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get you, Strider. I'm going to get you. I was worried at the time that he had Fear Fire Foes or Book of Mazarbel, because that would have made this even better, but at least he has to spend a ring to get him there, so that helps. So these guys are very innocently sitting in Umbar and not threatening to do anything dangerous whatsoever. He crowns Aragorn, of course, which also activates Gondor. So that's a little bit scary for me that like it just a few musters and then he's got Gondor to war and he can start putting elites in there. So I'm really hoping for a lot of musters this time. So hopefully I can rush this Corsairs play without being too obvious. Because if I don't muster Saruman or Sauron down and muster the Southern straight to war, then that's like a really obvious heads up that I've got Corsairs. So then I roll 3 more eyes. So at least I've got 2 musters this time. That helps a lot. But it's not what do you call it? I'd still rather have a few more dice to do stuff with and not 4 eyes, you know? Okay, so he draws another card, which I guess makes sense. What else are you going to do with that? Picks up another card. Yeah, because the only ones you could play here really are there and back again. And you don't really want to do that. Like, you couldn't get a companion anywhere close to the dew line yet. Anyway, so he plays Elven Rope. That makes sense. I muster Saruman down because, like, I extra want to get Saruman in right now because not only is that, you know, doing some not too obvious mustering, but then I have another die for next turn, so I can hopefully muster the Southrons down to war even sooner. He musters the elves down. I bring in Saruman. He musters the elves down. I walk that army from South Ithilien to Osgiliath, and then he moves the Fellowship and gets hit and not revealed. So not getting revealed is a bummer for me. Of course, I'd like to be able to get the chief, but here we are. So he asked me to draw, and I draw Gandalf. So that's nice for me anyway. At least he doesn't have a keeper die anymore. And clearly, by taking a random, he's saying he'd rather lose anyone but Gandalf. So normally, like, it's a little bit of bad news for me because now if he gets another Will of the West next turn, then he's got Gandalf the White already. But it's entirely possible, like especially with all the character deck cycling he was doing, that he was hoping to get Wizard Staff, which I think makes a lot of sense. Anyway, that's the end of that turn. So I chuck... Right, so I picked up When did I get Olog High? I guess I didn't even look at my hand last turn. Okay, so last turn I picked up Orc Patrol and Olog High, and then Captain of Despair and Shadow of Dumbledore. So Shadow of man, amazing cards here. Amazing cards. Those are really good. And he chucks Past the Wozes, which is reasonable. I might have chucked Tom Bombadil just because I like Sudden Strike better than Advantageous Position, but that's a reasonable choice. And I end up throwing out Olog High, which is a bummer. Like, that's a great card for reinforcing, and We Come to Kill is good too, but I really like all the rest of these, though. And especially after Strider's gone, I find the value of cards like Orc Patrol a lot higher because, if I pull out a reveal, it's a lot more devastating. And, those 5 tiles are all in there. So, anyway. So I allocate 1 eye and roll 0 more, and he gets 2 Wills of the West and no regular movement. So this is an exciting turn for me because, those 2 Ws and, no regular characters. So Day Without Dawn, I might be able to threaten some stuff. Yeah, anyway. Okay, so I muster Sauron down because, again, I don't want to be too obvious about getting excited about the Sauron's. But now I start mustering the Southrons down, and he brings in Gandalf the White because, now he has to start spending those Ws because I can muster 1 more time and bring Southrons down to war, and now I could, in theory, play Day Without Dawn. Instead of that, though, he plays Ent. And he gets 1 hit, and then he plays Horde of Gondor. So that's a reasonable choice because you do want to move the Fellowship, but at the same time, I would have probably played a muster to use Book of Mazarbel to get Aragorn out of there. That would have been my choice anyway. Okay, and I guess I'm thinking that because he didn't run right away, he isn't that scared of me attacking Strider. So I guess that's why I do Day Without Dawn first, because getting to deprive him of moving, I guess, seems important to me, especially getting to move once against 1 die at 6. That is a very useful... that's a fantastic move for the Free Peoples anyway. And especially when you don't have Strider to hide, it's going to be slow. So I guess that's why I do that. And then he passes, and then I get to play Corsairs. So, yeah, just loving it. This is a great turn 3 for me. Yeah. I think he's been lucky for Fellowship movement so far. And actually, no, he's only taken 2 steps too. It was going his way until I picked up Corsairs anyway, I'd say. So I bring the Nazgul over because, I really want to blow up this stronghold before he can play Imri Hill or Círdan, and the faster I get Aragorn off the board, the faster he's back down to 4 dice. So I think that makes sense anyway. He shuffles Rohan along, and I attack Dol Amroth. Do I play a card? I do. I'm guessing I'm playing a strategy card. Also, it could be either one, Mumakil or We Come to Kill. Probably We Come to Kill, though. Yeah. Okay, so I just roll 3 6s, so I don't even need the We Come to Kill. Easy peasy. Aragorn does hit back pretty hard, though. He gets 3 hits on the way out, but obviously that's a fantastic start. Turn 3, Aragorn being crowned and already killed. That might be the fastest I've ever seen it, anyway. That's a rough start for the Free Peoples, anyway. Okay, so now he would have been up to 6 dice, but he's only up to 5 dice because Aragorn's dead. So, yeah, so I think about it for a bit, and I end up going with 0 eyes because I do have this ring. So if he did roll 6 movement and I rolled 0 eyes, I could use the ring to put an eye in there. And especially with the start of the Free Peoples being relatively healthy and not having Strider and me having a decent military start, I'm really thinking I'm going to out-military them. I'm just going to win the race anyway, is the plan. Okay, so he plays Éomer. Okay. I play Stormcrow, right, because the elves are 1 step away from war, and I just want to make it a little bit more difficult for him to, what do you call it? Muster down anyway, because I'm not going to be able to get all the way to either Lorien or Woodland Realm this turn. I'm probably going to get the Witch King this turn, I would assume anyway. I think ideally Fellowship gets revealed, so that's probably what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the Fellowship to hopefully get revealed, and then I get Chief and Gothmog with these 2 musters. But if they don't get revealed, then probably Black Captain and Balrog. Anyway. Okay, so he musters in Minas Tirith, that makes sense. I play Gates Are Closed. It's nice to have a card on the table when you're the Shadow player. Like, not only is he about to take a third step, so if he gets revealed, that makes it even more painful going into Moria. But also, if he has wind from the west, which he doesn't at the moment, but I don't know that, then that's a card that he has to choose to discard instead of getting to see my whole hand. Okay, so he moves and he's safe, I think, for a bit. I attack Osgiliath. Right, I think the plan here is that I'm going to use this ring with the Palantir to attack Minas Tirith again, just so he doesn't get to keep mustering more elites in there. Like, since I've already poked this bear and brought Gondor to war, I might as well finish the job. And also, that's using these 2 dice and leaving the 2 musters for the end of the turn, so that it's more likely for me to get to see whether the Fellowship is revealed or not. Okay, so I attack Osgiliath, got 1 hit. He gets none. I press. He walks into West Horondor, so he can use a ring and walk into Umbar, or I can use a muster to defend. Or he could do that right now, right? But he doesn't, which I think makes sense. Not only is that letting me get the mouth early, but that's also like you're spending a ring, and where's the other 2 points coming from? It's really not that close. If you had an H and I had 0 musters, then you could walk him to South Ithilien and walk this guy to West Horondor and maybe have a shot there. But even then, I could use this ring to just walk the 3 regulars from Gorgoroth to Minas Morgul, so never mind. Okay, so he moves again, and he's hit, and it's Smeagol. So that's, that's good news for him. It's unlikely he's... Oh, no, he could still get revealed. Anyway. I carry on with my ring to attack Minas Tirith plan. He moves again. He's hit, and he is revealed. So 5 steps forward, and we draw for gates first. It's the other 0 reveal, and then for Moria, it's a 1. So he uses the Horn of Gondor for that. So very good health-wise. It's decent for me in long terms of looking at the Mordor track, because this way, anyway, there's more regular tiles out of the bag, so he's more likely to get hit by eyes. But still not great news for me, anyway. Okay, and we're back. Right, so it's my turn. I'm very happy to see that they're revealed, of course, because I get to bring in the chief. And then he plays Tom Bombadil because why not, I guess. I'd be tempted to draw a card because they're in Back Again and Great Company are both pretty mediocre. I guess you might be able to use Brave Stand if I go after Lorien, but there's no hint that I'm going to do that. So I'd be tempted to pick up a card and be okay with throwing out one of those 2. But Tom Bombadil's still a nice card to have anyway. It certainly makes it more difficult for me to go for the 4 cities approach. That's a thing. So I'm very happy to get Gothmog. I'm a big fan of his die. Anyway, it's not much worse than a regular die. So it feels more or less like I'm on 10 dice on turn 4, which just feels amazing. Oh, right, and Gladriel's die is gone already. Okay. So I allocate 1 and roll 3 more. So that's a little bit of a bummer because I'd rather just hit the gas, but oh well. Hopefully damaging the Fellowship is at least kind of helpful. So he hides with that character die. We already saw Day Without Dawn, so he doesn't have to be scared of that anymore. That's something. I play Captain of Despair. Right, because not only is it nice to get that cycle while the Witch King is sitting on top of the Fellowship there, but then I can play that character die and make his life worse. So seeing that coming, of course, he moves and he gets hit, and it's a 1, so he'll just eat that as corruption. Okay, so what did I do with the other army movement? Oh, I brought the 5 regulars down from Morannon. So yeah. So I'm bringing this army together to try to finish stepping on Gondor anyway, so he can't muster up there more. Right, so I attack Pelargir because I've got the Nazgul leadership sitting on there anyway, so I might as well use them. I get my 1 hit. He also gets 1 hit. I remember thinking to myself as that army sat there, like, I'm leaving 1 regular behind. That makes Dead Men Have Done Hair kind of scary. But, oh no, wait. No, it doesn't. Aragorn's already dead. There's no chance of that, right? It's just so lucky getting to kill Aragorn on turn 3. That felt very good. Right, okay, so then I pivot some Nazgul leadership. Obviously, I'm looking to play Shadow of Dol Guldur here, and then probably run towards the Dew line. Dew plus Gondor is a pretty classic combo for 10 points. He plays 3 rings to try to get the Gandalf die back, and he gets the expected 1 hit and gets it back, so that's nice. Right, and then I play Shadow, and I move, and then, he walks in the way, which makes sense. So I attack Old Forest Road and no card because, Swarm of Bats is the only card you'd want to play here, and I don't have it, so, he manages to scouts away into Woodland Realms, that makes sense. That's the other advantage of Tom Bombadil, of course, is that with that extra step down, now I can't take Carrick and then attack Dale, because if I take Carrick, then the North will be at war, and he could muster in Dale or just walk right into Woodland Realm. So that makes this a little bit trickier for me. So I'm a little sad to pick up Durin's Bane right here, because that's great for attacking Lorien, but I'm pretty committed to not attacking Lorien this game. Like, I'm pretty committed to Gondor and Do at this point. So, like, maybe if something goes wrong, I could pivot and go after Lorien, but I'm probably just going to throw this card out, which is sad because it's really powerful. Love to see this roll. Lots of attacks. Good stuff. 2 movement for him. So, of course, he moves before I can play Captain of Despair too much. And I miss. So I attack Dale here because, like I said, I can't take Carrick first because that puts them to war, and I can't besiege Woodland Realm first because there's a North regular in there, so that would also put the North to war, and he's got 3 musters to do horrible things to me. So, yeah. Anyway, so I attack Dale, and I don't play any card, and he doesn't have a second Scouts with his other strategy card. That would have been very sad. Yeah, so I get my 1 hit. He doesn't get a hit back. That's very nice for me. So I leave a regular there because I would like to be able to step on Carrick as a half an army movement next turn, assuming... Oh, right. So this is why this was great. Because the North is at war, so he can muster in Carrick. But if he does that, then he is not, with his next die, moving this Dwarven regular from Iron Hills to Erebor. So if he does muster an elite there, okay, I'll get Erebor, and you don't get that unit in there. But if he does walk that unit over, then that means he's not mustering there, so I can at least wipe out this settlement and not have to deal with that little headache. So it's always nice to look at, like, how can you put pressure on your opponent and make them choose which thing to get, But he passes, and that's that. So I walk on Old Forest Road, and I walk on Lasarnac so that he can't muster in either of those spots. He passes. I decide to cycle character cards since he seems to be passing anyway. I'm not going to rush to take out Erebor, because if I do rush and put my army there, then he might just muster the elves to war and make that a problem. So anyway. So I just put Shelob into play, get the cycle character card. It feels nice anyway. Now I attack Erebor. Now the Dwarves are war, and I just put the 1 regular there on Erebor because, like I said, I don't want to put the whole army here yet. I just want to prevent him from walking in with that dwarf from Iron Hills. Right, so he tries to sortie and then remembers that the dwarves aren't at war. Oh, interesting. So now he plays there and back again. Oh, that's a cool play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that works perfectly for getting Legless there. And I think that makes sense with the Fellowship being in such good health. You can afford to lose a companion. And that brings both the elves and the dwarves a step closer to war. That's pretty cool. Because now he can muster the dwarves down in sortie and waste some of my time anyway. So that's something. So now I play Nazgul Search because, like we said, Strider's gone, so he can't hide as easily. So this is essentially keeping him from moving a second time. And I get the cycle card. So I end up just leaving the Nazgul where they are. Yep. Right, because I have to put a Nazgul there where the Fellowship is anyway. Maybe it would have made more sense to actually bring the Black Captain over here. To bring the Witch King over here and put a different Nazgul there. I think that would have made more sense, actually. Because that way, if I never get a chance to put this Witch King on the Fellowship again, then it's nice that he's already with an army for when I switch to Black Captain. So maybe that would have made more sense. Oh well. Tides. I muster some Oliphants because, bringing in more guys for a do makes a lot of sense. He musters the dwarves to war. I muster another Oliphant. He musters a Dwarven elite in the Iron Hills. Right, then I realize a bit of a mistake I made, because just putting 1 regular there, now he can attack Erebor from here, and these 2 guys will probably beat the 1 orc, and then he'll get to have placed another elite in Erebor. So I move a few guys over to make it not so easy for him to attack. I'm also scared of Help Unlooked For here. So maybe I should have brought a 5th orc, actually, because Help Unlooked For would mean I'm only rolling 1 die here. Whereas if I brought that 5th orc, Help Unlooked For means that I roll 1 less die for every unit inside the stronghold. So 5 would have been a lot stronger than, than 4 in this specific scenario. But he didn't have it, so that's fine. So he musters another elite in Iron Hills, and I attack the Iron Hills from the Easterlings. So I get 2 hits, he gets none. He thinks about his casualties and decides to take it like that, and he retreats to Valecar, which I think makes sense in the spot. I probably would have done something different with this term, but at least these dwarves are here, and they're a bit of a pain to me anyway. I have to leave Dale kind of defended no matter what I do now. So. Unless I manage to just wipe them out. I don't remember what happens. So now I pick up many kings. It's always right after you move this army that you pick that up. That's a little bit frustrating. It's still a nice card to have. I'm still happy to see it. Anyway. King is revealed. That's a little funny, this game. Okay, right. So I throw out the Balrog because, like I said, we're not going to go for Lori in this game. And then I throw out the King is revealed / Relentless Assault. I think those make sense. So I allocate 1 eye, and then I roll 4 more. So Gothmog not living his best life this game. That also makes Captain of Despair pretty pointless because I've already got 5 dice in there. So that's a little bit frustrating anyway. He moves. He does get hit twice, and I draw an eye. So that feels nice anyway, getting the 2R from the eye. So he just takes Smeagol for it. I think that makes sense. And then he uses Elrond to bring that die back. I think that also makes sense. Just because, my military is moving at a decent pace. Unlikely he's going to be able to... Maybe if he got Círdan's ships, then he could take back Pelargir. That's a reasonable threat. But yeah, I think he's got to go fast. I think he's making the right call to go fast anyway. Okay, so he hides. I play Black Captain commands. Right, I put an Nazgul on them just because why not damage them more? It helps anyway. And off I go to attack Erebor. So did I draw my strategy card already? Oh no, I didn't because the Black Captain wasn't on there. Right, and I didn't want to spend my H die changing him to Black Captain because I want to use it as an attack and then switch him to Black Captain with a muster later, hopefully. Okay, so here we are attacking Erebor. I'm playing strategy cards, so I'm guessing that's Great Host because it's unlikely. Yeah, 8 to 3. Yeah, it will trigger for sure. He plays Daylight, and I just roll 2 6s. Oh, that feels bad. That feels really bad rolling. I get 2 hits. He gets 1, plus another 1 from my Great Host. So he's down to 2 regulars in there already. I'm going to press, of course. And then I play Rage of the Dunlendings, because now it kind of feels like I have health to spare, since Erebor has fallen so easily. So I might as well escalate it. I only take the 1 hit. Oof, wish I'd taken 2. Oh, but I rolled 2 6s anyway. Okay. Well, that feels good. He gets 2 hits back. There we go. Okay, so he moves some more, and he doesn't get hit on... I guess that is only 5 dice at 6, because he used the Elrond ability. But even if he hadn't, he still would have been safe. So that's pretty remarkable. So I make a mistake here. I bring all the guys out because I'm thinking I want to leave enough in Dale to protect against these dwarves of Vale of Carnan. And I still want to be able to destroy Woodland Realm. But I leave Erebor open, forgetting that Through a Day and a Night is a thing, and Legolas is here. And although elves aren't at war, he could go with this man at the north, though, because the north is at war. I'm very lucky that Through a Day and a Night wasn't here. I realized, after a couple dice anyway, then I realized that, we'll see it in a second anyway. So he plays more Ents, and Smeagol helps Nice Master. That helps. Yeah, right there. When I was about to play that and attack Woodland Realm, or Vale, or something anyway. Yeah, then I walk a regular from Iron Hills back to Erebor because I'm scared of him getting, what do you call it? That card. So he plays Celeborn here. That confuses. Oh, no, and no! He picks up Through a Day and a Night. That's so sad. Oh, no. Oh, you poor soul. I am terrible at this game. Someone fire me. Everyone disliked this video because of how bad I am. Anyway. Ooh, yeah, cool. Good play, Bob. So I play Sealder's Bane hoping for one of these reveals because he saved his movement for the last die here. So if I reveal him, though, then he doesn't get into Mordor this turn. I'm probably going to draw an eye, though. Yep, I did. Okay. So then he moves again, and he does get hit, and it's a 1 reveal. So at least that hurts the Fellowship a bit more. And then I draw 3, and naturally he loses Boromir and goes up a step. Ooh, so now he picks up Círdan's ships. That's big. So that means he could make this difficult. Mind you, now that I have 8 regulars in Osgiliath, that seems unlikely. And I lose the Gothmog die, of course. I have to allocate 1, and I roll not a great roll because only 2 attacks. At least I can get the mouth and attack with that. But that's still, I'd rather see more attacks here, though. So he hides, of course, because you want to get moving before the Shadow player can chuck red tiles in there, which I do, which I think makes sense. Interestingly, I think right. I'm putting in the red 3 first instead of the eye because an eye right now doesn't do that much damage, and also the Galadriel ability is still out there. So if I have to pick one of them to show up, I'd rather he hit the red 3 right now because he can't use Galadriel to block it, as opposed to the red eye. But he passes, so then I chuck the other red tile in there too. He uses safe paths. Makes sense. Get that we shall get it out of the way. Okay. So I think about it for a bit. I think I'm trying to figure out... Right. I'm trying to think through how to win this turn. So the way to do it, I've got 1, 2, 3 attacks. So I'm using 2 to bring in the mouth, which gives me 3 attacks. Right, but I think I'm planning on using this ring here to change as a character die so that I can pivot all this leadership down to Minas Tirith and hopefully blow it up in one shot. So I'm thinking of bringing in the special mouth who gives, an extended attack to make that more likely. Because he'll be able to take 2, maybe 3 steps this turn, depending on whether he's willing to burn the rings or not and on what he draws. So if I can win this turn, that would be better. Either way, it starts with attacking Woodland Realm. Yeah, he could have played Geared Ships here. Instead, he picks up a card, I guess hoping for, good cards to defend Woodland Realm with. So I attack Woodland Realm again. I'm a little... Oh, no, right. I didn't change to Black Captain because I was hoping to win this turn. That's right. Okay, so he plays Sudden Strike, and I play Cruel's Death. Makes sense. So his pre gets 1 hit. I get 2 hits. He gets 3. So that hurts. I'm still hoping to be able to finish this in one shot, but yeah, you never know. It might go poorly. Okay, so I use Great Host, and he uses a good Daring Defiance there. That helps. So I roll 1, 6. So that's a perfect Daring Defiance. That saved the Stronghold. But he doesn't roll any hits, so I get to press, and I'm still rolling 5 dice. And I play no card, but I get my 1, 6. He plays a Confusion, so that could have gone poorly for me, but I don't roll any 1, so that helps. And he gets 2 hits. I'm fine with that. Okay, so he moves, and he hits Shelob. So that feels oof, and I roll a 5. Oh, that helps. Good job, Shelob. So naturally, he loses all the companions and brings in Gollum and doesn't reveal. I think that makes sense. Like, he's still in good enough corruption that he has a shot here. And you really need speed at this point because I'm just 2 points away. Just need to crack Minas Tirith, and I have tons of units here. Yeah. I bring in that mouth because it's just the 1 stronghold, so that mouth is unquestionably better. Okay, so he moves again, and it's a 2 reveal. He takes a 2 damage. It doesn't reveal. I think that makes sense. So now I finish my plan of pivoting Nazgul. I leave a couple Nazgul here in case these dwarves stir up trouble. I want this army to feel stronger for fighting back in Dale, anyway. Okay, so he uses Gandalf's Ring to move again, which I think makes sense. Right, I'm just remembering to discard Captain of Despair now that we're down to Gollum, and he gets a blue tile. So that balances out a little bit. 1 red tile, 1 blue tile. That's a little bit luckier for him, actually, because there was 3 red tiles in there and only 1 blue tile. So anyway, I'm using the mouth ability to attack Minas Tirith, of course. So he plays Círdan's here because I guess he just wants to do his best to survive this turn, which I think makes sense. Like, he doesn't know what cards I have. Oh, I have no cards. Never mind. He does know what cards I have. Either way, yeah, what if I roll a bunch of 6s? It makes sense. So he rolls his spree. He misses. I get 2 6s, so that feels nice. He gets 2 hits. I press, of course. No card. I get 2 more hits. He gets 1. And I downgrade the elite to press again. And I get 1 more 6. So yeah, it would have been a bit lucky to finish off Minas Tirith. That went about on par. Let's see, 5 6s on 30 dice. That's about average anyway. Actually, I think that's exactly average. But yeah, so here we are. So I'm very close to winning. If he rolls a bunch of movement, though, there's certainly a chance he can win next turn, too. So I'm a little bit nervous at this point. Now I'm kind of wishing I still had Day Without Dawn, since he rolls 2 Ws and a C. Anyway, so he draws a card. I guess he's hoping for There Is Another Way. Yeah, because if you are going to play There's Another Way at the start of the turn is the right time to do it. Interesting. So I am using this ring. Right, I'm putting in an eye because corruption is certainly a problem for him. And I'm really not feeling like I need that many attack dice to finish this turn. Like, I just need to blow up Minas Tirith. It's very weak. And I need to defend Pelargir and Dale. And I have 6 attack dice to do it, so that's why I'm chucking in an eye. That seems reasonable. But did he pass again? Oh, no, right. I put in the ring, and that's not the turn. That's something on the side you do. Right, so now I'm switching to the Black Captain so that I can cycle character cards. Because I'm going to get to 10 points this turn. The real story of the game is can the Fellowship dunk this turn? That's all that matters now, so that's why I'm kind of focusing all resources on that. Okay, so I cycle a character card, of course. On Minas Tirith, he plays Heroic Death. That makes sense. I get 2 hits. He gets no hits back. So I think I specifically don't press just so I can keep cycling if the next card I draw isn't a good one. Yeah, I don't press. Oh, also I didn't move any, elites over, so. Oh, no, right, but I had the mouth there, so I could have chosen to press for free. But I choose not to, just so I can cycle again. He moves, it's an eye. Oh, yeah, he thought for a really long time about this one. He mentioned that he does some math about the percentage odds and how it's very close either way, whether it makes sense to use Galadriel or not. Because if you do use Galadriel here, he only has 2 movements, so he needs to get not revealed or stopped on this one, and not stopped on this one, and not get damaged so badly that he, dies. Because, with that many eyes in the pool, taking the damage from this is a risk. But if he doesn't use Galadriel, he goes up to 9 corruption here. But he can hide again, because he'll have Galadriel's die to use again. So, anyway, that's the very tough choice here. So he ends up using Galadriel to redraw, and he gets Smeagol Helps and Ice Master. So that's huge. That's absolutely the best tile in there. Now he's drawn 2 blue tiles and 1 out of 3 red tiles. So that's very nice for him for sure. Yeah, so there's the math he mentioned. By his math, using the ring ability is 7.5% chance of winning, and not using it was 6.7% chance. So here we are. That's the kind of math you got to grind out at this point, because at this point the choices are correct. I don't know if his math is correct. I haven't done the math, but that sounds about right to me anyway. Yeah. Okay, so attacking Minas Tirith. So now he says it's 16.7. Interesting. So that's saying if he moves again, he needs to not hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, he needs 3 of just the 3 that wouldn't. Oh, no, wait. No, he can also hit the 1R and he's fine because he has Gollum. So 4 out of 9. And then depending on how corrupt he is, let's see, if he hits a 3, then an eye would do 6 damage. Right, so the 3s or 2s, then he needs to also not hit an eye on the last step. So that's why these odds are so low anyway. Like he could hit 3-3 and he's fine. But yeah, 3 and then eye is not fine. Or 2 and then eye, I think, is not fine. Even with hitting a second blue tile. And of course the red tiles stop him, so yeah. So I cycle Morgul Wound here because I'm thinking, right, he doesn't have any rings, and 3 rings has already been played. So if he gets revealed, I win. So there's no chance that playing Morgul Wound is useful. If he moves and doesn't get revealed, then he has a chance at winning, but I still don't get a chance to play this. So this is why I'm cycling Morgul Wound. I guess I'm hoping for the last red tile. Or maybe Foul Thing from the Deep. Yeah, anyway, I'm just throwing it out there to see what the game gives me. So I get the 6. It's dead. He gets 1 hit back. Doesn't make much difference. And I get Dreadful Spells, so there's no use there. And I already used Gandalf's Ring to put an eye in there, so I can't use Galadriel's Ring to do anything else. So now it just comes down to sitting and waiting and seeing what he draws. So he draws another eye, so that's good luck for me anyway. So that's 5R, so he's revealed, and he's quite damaged. So now I should have the game in the bag. So now the question is, can he take one of these back? Which we already said before is unlikely, but it is possible. So first I bring in as many guys as I can to I'm not sure why I walked this regular over. Where was he before? From Carrick to Old Forest Road. Why did I do that? That doesn't make any sense. Maybe I'm just planning on bringing him there too? Interesting. Why was I scared of that? I really should have just brought this regular from Iron Hills to Dale as well. Because then if he walks to Iron Hills, he can't muster and do anything. He only has 2 dice left. I really should have done that. Oh well, the odds are still quite in my favor. So he attacks Dale and doesn't play a card because obviously I can make this army stronger with my dice still. He can't do anything to help this army. Maybe if he had a card to bring Gandalf over, that could help. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we prove the Swifter doesn't even get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, it does get there, actually. It gets there this way. But, of course, he played We Prove the Swifter earlier to crown Aragorn. So, anyway, he attacks Dale. He rolls no hits. I roll 2. So, now I'm very, very glad that I put those Nazgul there earlier. For exactly this kind of scenario. So he presses because nothing to lose, everything to gain. He gets 1 hit, and I miss. So, that's actually pretty alarming. Those very low odds that would happen. It's still in my favor, but it's a little scary when luck starts doing that. He gets another hit, but I finally roll a hit. So that's that anyway. So I bring guys over to Polar Gear to help defend it because that's the only chance he has. Okay, now we're back again for the very dramatic conclusion of 1 regular attacking against 10, and he loses. What a shock. So, that's that for second game. So we take a look at what the textile would have been. It would have been a 3. So if he had enough dice to hide and move again, then he could have pulled it off. But very, very good games, I think, on the whole. I think a couple misplays from both of us, but reasonably well played and very exciting close ends. So on to game 3 anyway to see who gets to go to the semifinals. Okay, so a quick look at statistics. I was +6 on 6s, so that helps. -5 on 5s, though, so that does not help. +5 on eyes, so that's a bummer. That's probably why I took till turn 9, even though I had +6 on 6s. Let's see, for him, -1 on W, -1 on C, +3 on Palantir. So that's somewhat subpar, but not devastatingly so. Anyway. That is bad, but lots of people have worse games. Anyway, is all I mean. -4 on 6s, +2 on 5s for him. So yeah, I'd say overall luck favored me somewhat this game anyway. The early Corsairs draw, I think, was probably the biggest stroke of luck I had. So that was that game. See you next time.